I wish I could say I'm surprised. This is live breaking news, everybody. The case in Sean P. Diddy Combs has now finally come to a close. The verdict is in. It's a split verdict, and P. Diddy has now been acquitted. He's basically, he beat the rap because he has gotten free of the most serious charges and accusations against him. I'm going to explain everything for you and break it down. But just to kind of confirm my thumbnail and my title, this is not clickbait. Watch this clip before I break down everything for you. Watch this clip of CNN. I'm not going to share with you the actual footage, but watch the video of CNN reporter in absolute shock live on air as P. Diddy supporters start pouring baby oil all over themselves in response to this huge verdict today. Watch.
Been proper and etiquette that is happening inside of a courtroom. No, instead, I kid you not, people are pouring baby oil on one another outside this courthouse. Baby oil having a very big play in the freak-offs we heard about. You have people saying it's not Rico, it's Frico. You got applause coming when the mother of Sean Diddy Combs, Miss Janice, got out of the vehicle just a few moments ago, really, behind us and walked inside to elated cheers and her greeting the crowd. Every time the family, the children, the 6 adult children come in, 3 boys and 3 girls, they are met by cheers, and also at times throughout the course of trial, met by scathing and disrespectful comments as well, a lot of profanity. But
okay, I'm not going to put you through that, but let me tell you something. I have seen the actual footage of these people putting baby oil all over them, and it is absolutely atrocious, but I'm not going to put you through that. Okay, here are my trusty notes. I'm breaking down everything for you. And by the way, if you want a copy, I always give away my research notes for free. If you want a copy of these notes, I'm giving them away for free. You can find a link in the pinned comment and in the description down below. But here are the counts here. So the most serious ones, the racketeering, the RICO, not guilty. Count 2, this is a huge one too. This is like life imprisonment in this federal charge. SEX trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, not guilty. Count 3, this is the kind of lesser 2 of the charges. You'll see transportation to engage in, I can't say it on the air, but you can read it right there, guilty. Count 4, SEX trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, not guilty. And then count 5, transportation to engage in that activity right there, guilty. Sean P. Diddy Combs, again, this guy, multi-billionaire, huge music mogul. He's essentially like the Clive Davis of the hip hop world. This was a sketch in court of him kneeling on the ground, getting on his knees and caressing his chair right there in absolute elation when he first heard the verdict. And he was acquitted of the most serious charges against him, but was found guilty of the 2 lesser charges. Some observers, including myself, are asking if the prosecutor, Maureen Comey, who happens to be, is this shocking to anybody? The daughter, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, does it? Daughter of James Comey sabotaged her own case. She was the prosecutor, get this, for Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, who managed to not name a single man who Epstein and Maxwell trafficked when they trafficked underage girls. Can you believe that? There she is right there, Maureen Comey. Okay, so I have the entire kind of background of what was going on here. I'm just going to kind of skim through this until we get to the verdict today, because I know a lot of you have been following this case maybe for a long time. But again, I have all my research notes breaking it down in case you're like, I have no idea what's going on. I have it all breaking down for you. Remember, they raided his home back in September of 2024. It was really a big deal. They found all this baby oil. They found all this. It obviously was something that had been culminating for a very, very long time. And then once the pre-trial developments began, Combs was denied bail 3 times. Jury selection began in February of this year. In April, the trial was set for May 5th. And then we have the trial. 34 witnesses testified over 6 weeks. They have that hideous, insidious video of P. Diddy dragging around his girlfriend at that time. Really, really sad what was happening. Judge Subramanian, I'm probably saying that wrong. He sounds Armenian, was the overseeing the case. And then this is what happened. July 2nd in the morning, the jury finalized its decision acquitting Combs today of racketeering and sex trafficking. They deliberated for 9 days. On July 1st, they reported a verdict on 4 of 5 racketeering and 2 you can read it right there, but needed more time for the 5th. And then that's what happened today. And then where we are right now, the jury delivered the verdict in court. This was 11:45 Pacific Daylight Time this morning, wearing a yellow sweater, clasped his hands as Judge Subramaniam read the outcome: not guilty on racketeering and sex trafficking, guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in P. And then 2:45, this just happened, like literally as I'm recording this, Judge Subramanian denied bail, citing the 2016 video, which is time-stamped, as evidence of Combs being a danger to others. Defense attorney Anguifilo argued for house arrest at Combs' $60 million Miami estate, but the motion was rejected. Right now, Combs remains detained at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn with sentencing scheduled for late July. Legal analysts predict a 5 to 10 year sentence per P count, a maximum 20 years. But here's the kicker, everybody. This is why I titled this, he's basically getting off. With time served since October, that may reduce this, and God knows what kind of a deal. He could walk. He could actually walk. And 50 Cent, who's been his most staunch critic, really, you could say, they used to be buddies, posted this today on Instagram saying, Diddy beat the Rico. That boy a bad man. He like the gay John Gotti. So there you have it. You have a lot of people, bipartisan, doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, who are saying that this was an absolute travesty of justice, that there was enough to convict him. There was enough to get him on those more serious charges. It remains to be seen what sentencing is going to uncover. But man, after all that hullabaloo, and why wasn't this trial televised too? It makes no sense why it wasn't televised. I think radical transparency is needed. I think Trump's ridiculous New York case should have been televised as well. That wasn't televised. I don't understand why are these guys? I mean, even the Supreme Court, maybe not video wise, but audio wise, you get the transparency there at the highest court of the land. Why not televise this? Why not give the public that sense of trust, in the system and what's happening and why it would give us a little more understanding. There's so much more nuance than just getting transcripts or third party through, especially these propagandist media outlets. But I think he got off, and I think it just proves that money can buy you justice. If you have the money, you can purchase the justice that you want, especially in this case. And I'm not just throwing just a blanketed general. I am calling this OJ 2.0. I think definitely race has a lot to do with it as well. I do. I'm not going to deny that. I think race has a lot to do with it. Sadly, unfortunately, I think if the shoe was on the other foot, holy macadamia nut. But no, I definitely think this is OJ 2.0. You might be saying, Nez, you're crazy. He didn't murder anybody. No, he didn't. But this guy, maybe even in some instances, in some interpretation, could be perceived as far worse than what OJ did. Not to take away from that, because he's damaged lives, traumatized lives. Look at Justin Bieber, for example. I shared an extensive video of Bieber. I haven't really been covering the Diddy thing too much because I thought there was more important things to cover, but this is like the biggest news, biggest verdict since, Trump's hush money trial almost a year ago. And so I'm covering this because it's very, very important and it's very, very newsworthy. But, there was massive amounts of lives that this guy has destroyed. Never mind his girlfriend, Cassie. Never mind him pulling her hair in that video. Never mind all of the accounts, all the witnesses, all the testimony against him about him literally just like Epstein, ruining people's lives far more egregiously in some characterizations than even the reprieve, one might even say, of not being here anymore, of being mortally shuffled off this mortal coil, if you will. So, you could interpret it in many ways, but I'm calling this OJ 2.0. There was so much evidence against him. There was enough to convict him and put him away forever. But maybe money talks. and bullshit walks. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. We'll see what the sentencing comes. I think he's probably going to walk scot-free. I think he's going to walk scot-free. I don't think he's going to get a single a year or month or week behind bars anymore. I think this is it. It's over. The sentencing is going to be time served, and hasta la pasta. He's out of there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you want a copy of these research notes, which gives the full kind of breadth and breakdown of the entire trial, you can get that in the pinned comment, also in the description of this video. Please tap that thumbs up because it helps us out immeasurably, even if you're watching on TV. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed them. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. And as always, may God bless you, and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.